I realized when I look at others who try to be perfect, it's like I would never be obsessed with them. Every time I'm very attracted to someone is someone who's very silly, goofy, and all of that. I'm not talking about relationship with men. I mean, in general, if I like person, it means that I see some raw and goofy side of them. That's why I like them. And I don't know where this weird feeling comes from when I act weird or goofy or whatever around someone. I feel so ashamed after, and I overthink. Oh my god, what if this person thinks I'm stupid? First of all, who cares? Second of all, no. Normal people don't think that way. Okay, don't call them normal people, man. I'm trying so hard not to be judgmental towards myself or others, but sometimes it shows, that it's not perfectly healed. Perfectly. Again, I used this word again. Perfectly. Nothing is perfect, and nothing can ever be perfect or perfectly healed. Okay, what am I yapping here? Lately, I've noticed this in myself, that I tend to compare myself to people like I really admire. And it is annoying. Let me tell you, it was really subconscious. Like, I was not aware that I was comparing myself to them in a way where I'm inferior to them. It's like my brain always tries to find something to compare me with them. But it is really unfair comparison in a way where your brain tries to target this person's best side or best skill or whatever and compare it to your like normal or average or whatever side. And it's not fair, For example, if there's a third place in your life where you go to, for example, to the gym or to singing classes, drawing classes, like, I don't know, it could be anything, literally. In my case, it's dance class. And I'm, God forbid, any of the people are listening to this from there. I'm already sorry that you're hearing this. But it's like, yeah, I need to share this. I felt this calling to go to dance classes, and in the end, it turned out that I'm not there only for dancing. I actually need to learn even more than to dance. And it is comparing myself to others and also this need to be perfect. And I really thought that throughout years, I went through that shit, like, isn't it done? But it was not done, let me tell you. And dance classes awakened me from that. Obviously, I admire my choreographers. They're literally the coolest. Let me tell you, they look and seem perfect. Even when they're very goofy and trying to be silly with us, they still do it in a perfect way. I don't know, maybe it's my brain dehumanizing them, but in a good way, where I feel like, yeah, probably it's the need to look like them, very pretty and so skilled and successful at very young age. And anyways, I admire them. I'm telling you, I crush them. But what my brain does every time I go there is I feel inferior to them. It feels like these are these perfect creatures, and it could happening anywhere in your life. Like, for example, in the gym, in university, anywhere, any third place in your life. And especially it happens when relationships are kind of surface level and it doesn't go deeper. It's even easier for you to kind of produce these feelings towards them if you put them on the pedestal, or vice versa, if you feel like somebody is less than you, inferior to you. But think of them as someone less than you, you feel better. But it is very, very temporary. It cannot continue like that. You need to give your brain stimulation all the time about that yes, you are better, you're better than them. That it's not working that way. It cannot give you permanent boost, okay? And at some point it will fluctuate, let me tell you. There will be moment where you won't feel like that anymore. And you're done. Then you will have to find another victim who will be less than you, so you feel better. Ugh, that is so annoying. I'm not signing up for that in order to feel better. So there are downward and upward comparisons in both ways. Your ego seems to play tricks on you. For example, this perfect girl that you always see, and you're like, oh my god, I wish I was like them. And most of the time, your brain doesn't even tell you that you want to be like them, And I didn't know at first when I started to dance. I was like, yeah, I love these girls. But lately and slowly, I noticed that my brain was playing tricks on me. I'm like, oh my God, these girls are perfect. So I cannot be like, shit dancer. Like, you need to do your best in order to like seem normal in their eyes. But this definitely comes from somewhere, right? And now that I remember, my worth always depended on if I would be just as, for example, my parents wanted me to be as a kid. And if you have same feelings, just know that you need to dig deeper and find the reason why you're comparing yourself to others, or why you try to be perfect in someone's eyes. Because why aren't you like comparing yourself to the lion? Because lion is also very strong and fierce and cool and can ace anything. Why not want to be like a lion? Or why aren't you comparing yourself to the bug and be like, oh my God, I'm so cooler than you. I can live 100x more times than you. Like, why aren't you doing that? Probably because there are some personal issues right there buried in you that you need to find out. And maybe there's a chance that there isn't at all. And it's just your brain being addicted to this feeling of thrill, of being liked, when constantly you feel like you're not as good as them, or you're in a constant trial of getting validation from these people. And once you get it, it feels so good. As soon as my choreographer says, oh my God, you did so well, I'm like, I'm so cool. Like, you need to get it more and more, because one time they told me like, yeah, you did so well. Next time, you did so well didn't work on my ego anymore. I needed something more. And that's the spiral you don't want to get in. It's like it never ends. Yeah, I haven't made any friends for so long, and I didn't make any connections for so long that I forgot that these feelings are there, of comparing yourself to someone you like, or, then trying to compensate this feeling with like, oh my God, there must be someone I'm superior to as well. So your brain is so caught up. I hope you're not gonna give up on control on your brain, because if it takes control over you, oh my God, it could get so annoying. And probably in a few years, if I will continue like this, I will be really tired mentally. Girl, I don't want to waste my time. Yes, it is so thrilling when they tell me, oh my God, you did so well. Oh my God, you look so good, or whatever, because I admire them, So I realized I need to validate myself. And yes, I've had a lot of issues throughout life, and especially because my parents never, ever, supported me in singing or dancing. I loved both as a kid, and I did those very well. But at some point, I got so closed up, I couldn't dance or sing anymore. Not in front of others. We're not even talking about that. Even with myself. Like, I was so mad that I was not perfect, because probably my subconscious mind thought that they are not supporting me because I'm not perfect. Probably because it's not enough. What I do, like how I sing, how I dance, it's not enough. So that's why they're not supporting me. But then throughout life, I got even more mad, because I've met a lot of people who objectively were not singing as good as me, or were not dancing as good as me, but they still got 100% support from their parents. And probably I'm still mad at them, even though I'm working through it in a therapy. I understand they couldn't afford me going dancing and singing, but they didn't have to bring me down. But that's what they've been going through. If you were brought down and not validated from your parents, it's probably because that's what happened to them as well. And now you noticing this means that you're breaking this cycle, and you should be so thankful you can finally become aware of those things that you don't like. For example, yeah, at first I was kind of mad. Like, why am I kind of searching for validation from these people? Yeah, they're so cool, but I shouldn't be depending on their, validation in order to continue dancing well. It shouldn't affect my mood to go to dance class, okay? None of this has to do with any of the people outside. It's only you. It only happens within you. And as soon as I realized that they don't have anything to do with it, and it's only me, and it only happens in my mind, even when I f up, they're not there to judge you. They're there to teach you how to not to fuck up next time. And that's what they do. I admit that I've been comparing myself to them all the time, and it is so annoying because I'm trying to, it's like a science in my brain. Like, how are they so perfect, you know? Probably they also have similar traumas or similar feelings towards other people. But when your brain finds a perfect target to fantasize about people and put them on a pedestal and belittle yourself and judge yourself, that's it. It always goes that way, you know? And now that I noticed finally what was really annoying me, I was like not feeling my best. It's not about them at all. It's like my brain decided to judge me because I'm not like them already. It's been a few months I started to dance. I'm literally 25-year-old and they've been dancing. See, even right now, I'm making excuses to tell my brain that it's normal that I cannot dance perfectly right now. And I'm sure nobody in my dance class has ever had a second thought about my dancing skills or whatever, because it's only me. Outside world is just simulation that you need right now in order to wake up from whatever's annoying you, whatever patterns you have. And that's what I noticed, and I'm so happy actually. At first I was kind of mad. I was like, why my brain does this? Like, I'm already so cool. Like, why would I think that, you know, why would I feel so inferior to someone? But yeah, it happens. There's always someone better than you. There's always someone prettier than you, and you cannot have problems with that. You know, have you ever seen bamboo tree telling oak tree, oh my god, you're so thick and strong, I wish I would be like you? Or vice versa, like oak tree telling the bamboo, oh my god, you're so thin, like I want to waist like you. Like, have you ever heard anything like that? No. You know why? It's only human mind that thinks that it's so intelligent that it can like solve this type of problems. And the thing is, your brain comes up with a problem, then it tries to find the logic around it. Every type of problem you have comes from your childhood traumas. And healing doesn't have end destination. It's just a process. And in the process of going through your childhood traumas, you feel like right now, like current reality is also aligning with that. And now my ego is in a better place than it's been past few weeks, when I was like subconsciously building up some bullshit in my head. I don't really like myself dancing in the mirror. Like, oh my god, can you see the contrast between how you dance and how they dance, and what you like what you look like and what they look like? That is totally from my childhood trauma, and thinking that I must be perfect in order to be accepted. That's where it comes from. And now that I realize it, my mind is so relieved. And I feel like my reality is already changing. Of course, who doesn't like validation? I mean, even if you're healed from that trauma of like of this need of validation, of need of being perfect, even then, it feels really good when somebody says something nice to you or about you, you know? But you shouldn't be dependent on that. As soon as you become aware of something that annoys you and the pattern that you have inside you, half of the thing is done. Then only thing you need to do is to take action on that and find out what it is exactly that makes you feel like this. Like, there's always someone who is better looking than you or more skilled than you, but there are also people who are less prettier than you and less skilled than you, but it doesn't mean that there's a hierarchy of that. It's just different. As just I said about oak tree and bamboo tree, like, have you ever seen comparing them? And I know it is so hard when somebody tells you, yeah, like, have you ever, like, seen oak tree and bamboo tree, like, compared to each other? And I know you understand that mentally, like, consciously, but it is hard to take it in subconsciously. So that is when only thing that helps you is to go through the trauma and find the validation you need within, not outside. As soon as you start to seek validation outside, it tricks your brain, because you know, there are some hormones that are released when you get validated from someone you really admire, and you can become addicted to that very, very easily. I know I've been all around the place, like I've talked about comparison and ego boost and ego fluctuation and like superiority and inferiority and like perfectionism, but it's all in one bowl, you know? I don't know how to say it. It's like it's boiling in the same pot for me. It's like very related topics, and if there's one of them, there's the other one next to it somewhere near. When I put these people on the pedestal, like my perfectionism is activating when I'm trying to be involved with them in conversation or whatever, and that's when my weirdest self is coming out. Like, you know, there's just zero chance that I can be perfect, you know, like, you know, this pattern needs to be destroyed right now. And I'm doing exactly that. And I can tell you it's been successful. What I've been doing is I'm trying to cut the bullshit, which means that every time my brain tries to compare me to someone, that's the exact moment I start to remember moments from my childhood where I've been put through comparison and where I've been asked to be perfect in order to be accepted. And I get all the answers. That's why you need to kind of go through your day before you go to bed instead of scrolling. That's what I started personally, and that's why I'm telling you this right now. And hear me out, it is really, really necessary if you're going through self-development and you're trying to help your patterns and destroy them and be the cycle breaker. It is really important for me to the feeling level, you know, to sit down and go through whatever happened today, whatever made me feel bad or whatever made me feel good. And then if I don't like something and I want to change something, find answers for them. So next time it happens, I become aware even earlier. Yeah, it's still not about being perfect. It's just about whatever hinders you from being badass bitch on planet Earth, you know? So yeah, I'm going through it. So yeah, I hope this episode is gonna help you at least with something, you know? And if it does, please share your thoughts with me. I would be happy to connect with you and talk about this stuff even more and understand what you would like to have conversations about in the future as well. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.